Well, then I'm gonna finish up with one last bit of good news while Meg starts the stream, which is that I found out that Beef Day is Thursday, April 6th.
Beef Day!
Nice.
And I started the stream just in time for that, so now everybody knows when Beef Day is.
Perfect. So I'm gonna get me at least some beef sliders, and they usually have ice cream, I guess, for some reason. So.
I mean,
Because milk
it's
comes
a
from
dairy
cows.
product.
Yeah,
Could be a thing.
I'm not gonna question it. So, hey everybody, we have everybody that's gonna be here today. And I am happy to have you all here. As mentioned, Sav, you weren't here for it. X is going to be out for the night. He has some family stuff. I'm going to wish him the best on that. But otherwise, I am excited to get started because once we finish this warm-up, we're going to jump right into it. So, who would like to tell us what happened last time?
So we started session in combat, right? Right? Like we just started like knocking on the door and the boss comes out wondering what the heck we're doing, and I believe Tyrus goes in for a punch, misses, and the boss was like, that didn't hurt at all, and then we find out that he is he has monk abilities, so that was pretty crazy. And next thing you know, he's running through our team basically, and he calls his lackeys to back him up, and some of us lose a lot of health. Then, if memory serves, he runs away, and his second in command holds Rayun at bay at the door. There's a big beast that comes into play, and basically half the party is like less than 50% health.
Honestly, solid B plus, A minus. I'm proud of you.
Woohoo!
A couple things that I want to add on or correct. It's very important to me that you guys know that the guy that was holding Rayun at bay for literally like 3 turns, not the second in command, not even the 4th or 5th in command, just a random dude. Like, this guy could not have been a less consequential NPC until he held the line and got in 2 hits on Rayun. Like, wow. Sometimes you just gotta let those magical moments happen. I want to add a second thing, which is that not only did Tyrus try and punch Boss Bush, but someone in the party with a crossbow took a shot. And I think that was where we first learned that, oh, he's got some skills when he caught that bolt.
That was me.
Oh, it was you that shot?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was actually pretty sure it was Holden. But that makes sense too. So one thing that I think is actually important, and not just like me smiling as we talk about the funny things, is at some point as reinforcements were coming in from the southwest. Wow, I just bit the crap out of my lip super hard.
Ooh.
That sucks. A bunch of reinforcements were coming forward, and Morthos made a snap decision that I do respect him for of, I'm going to blow those bastards up. And threw a big old fireball that hit the side of the building. When that happened, a big old explosion, like honestly bigger than that fireball should have been. And a decent number of people, I think it was Mira, Rayun, and Morthos, maybe? Tyrus? You guys might have to remind me who actually heard this and knows this. heard that there were screams of people in distress in the building. And that was pretty much where we left off was, oh shoot, there was a giant explosion. Wow. So, with that, I'm going to move us over to the carnage, which again is the scene I've been looking at for the last 2 or 3 days and going,
Hey, look, those two enemy NPCs are fairy fired.
right? What a good reminder. Because I think that was actually one of the last things that happened was that Meg cast Fairy Fire on the Pack Beast and that one guard, and we were like, crap, we need a way to remember that. And so I literally wrote the word ferried onto the board so we would remember. So we find ourselves in combat still because we didn't actually finish this. So we're going to open up with our extremely injured, not entirely by the enemies, Holden, who hopefully could do some cleaning up because we got some work to do still. And I'm going to keep working on the sandwich.
I'm taking just a moment, sorry.
Please, but I can't vamp and chomp, so...
We can talk about how Tyrus is a team-killing fucktard.
That's true. Team killing is bad, and people who do it should feel bad.
I have no remorse.
I thought friendly fire was off.
I'm going to burn a first level spell to hex the giant beast of burden. And then I will make 2 crossbow attacks. Surprise, surprise.
Okay, well maybe you didn't need to make 2, jeez.
Oh, I don't have advantage. I don't know why that's toggled. So I'm guessing the crit and the 10 are what would have rolled.
Do you not have advantage because of the fairy fire?
Oh, I have advantage because of the fairy fire.
Nice.
Like, I don't know if you thought you had it from somewhere else and were wrong, but you're good right now.
And I left it toggled, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Well, Holden sounds like he is pissed off. So I'm going to let you have the opportunity if you'd like to describe what's happening here, because you have almost killed this thing in 2 shots.
Angrily claw myself to my feet. I'm going to use the force-fed recoil that draws the tension line on the extreme crossbow, and I'm going to point it directly at Tyrus. And moments before I pull the trigger, I'm just going to last second adjust it to hit the beast of burden instead, but never taking my eyes off of Tyrus.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Also, I thought I was muted for that read the room thing. Sorry. That was my cat. All right. Well, I hope, Tyrus, that you understand the gravity of what just happened.
Yeah, I have a guy trying to kill me, and it's not him.
It's 36 damage, Tyrus. I don't know how many hit points you have, but that could be you.
I have somewhere between full and not full.
I appreciate you saying that because I did the math wrong. Whoops. All right. Well, that was very productive. Goodness. Hey, would you mind linking Hex again? Because, oh, no, it's right here. Never mind. I just always forget what that does.
Debuff its strength score.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. Well, it is our friend's turn, and realistically, he just heard a gigantic explosion, so he's just going to take the advanced dodge action because what the fudge is happening? There are windows over here. You can see there's fire. And that's going to make it Rain's turn.
So while he's in advanced dodge, can I shove him away?
I mean, you can give it a shot. He's going to you're going to have disadvantage attacking him.
Okay. It would be strength for shove action.
Let's see. I feel like you could probably get away with making a contested strength athletics check.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, what Holden said. I don't know why I cannot remember what the skills in this game are.
And that's with disadvantage?
Why don't you just make that one as a regular roll?
Oh, come on!
Okay. Wonderful. This lines up so good. I am genuinely thankful for that crit fail. So here's how this is going to play out. Rayan, you being a champion of justice and good and other nice things, think I got to get through this dude, right? I have to get in the building. I have to save the day. Holy crap. And this guy is in the way. And I got to get through him. So you like lower your shoulder. I'm going to take an attack of opportunity. Doesn't even matter. I got to get through here. You wind up, you lower your shoulder, you push forward, and this dude just steps out of the way. And you fall flat on your face. To add to this, definitely everybody, at least except for Holden, maybe including Holden, definitely sees him just eat floor. And that's going to leave you prone. For what it's worth, though, guy, whose name I swear I've written down, throws his hands up, like, sword still in hand, but, like, hands up of, like, dude, you do you, man. Martis, that's his name. Martis Bowwallop.
Is getting up a regular action?
It costs half of your movement for the turn.
All right, I'll do that since I still have movement, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be 15 feet, 5, 10. I'll get to the door. I'm going a square to the left, diagonally, and then one over.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We talked about this last time. Now that it has been used, you could see pretty clearly that there is definitely a trick door here. So it will not be hard on your next turn to get right through that thing and see what's going on the other side. I keep forgetting that you guys can't see anything because all of that's on the GM level. So I'm excited to reveal stuff. All right. Next in line, Tyrus, you've got friends.
On the other side?
I've got a friend in me, and it's not Holden.
Well, try coughing him out.
And I'm gonna... I think I'm engaged this guy, so I'm gonna hit him with my axe instead of shooting at him. Big ol' swing. And he has fairy fire, so it's advantage, right?
Yep.
And then I'll hit him again. Maybe. I don't know if 13 hits or not.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Let's see. I gotta remember all of these guys are in my No, seriously, where? What the heck? Oh, here we go. I've even gone to great lengths to keep this thing organized, and I still lose people all over the place. Unfortunately, a 13 does not hit.
All right. Cool.
Okay, there we go. That should be easier. All right. But you got him once.
Got him once.
And that is, I mean, at this point, you guys are both. This guard has a giant crossbow and a giant two-handed sword, and you just swinging big old slow heavy swings at each other. Like this is a fight between two men who are determined not to let anybody know of the shame inside of them.
Oh boy.
And that was for this many damage. Here we go. All right, I'm going to move us. Oh, we're in the TMM block. I remember this from last time. So we also have Mira and Morthos, who are free to go whenever.
Yes.
And apparently, this guard is just not on the turn order anymore. So I'm going to randomly assign him a 10.99.
I would like to cast Healing Word on Holden. Oh, I only have level 1s left. I'm sorry. And I'm going to move away a little bit. And that is the extent of my turn. It is Morthos' turn.
No, sorry, that was a healing word you said?
Yes.
Healing word is a bonus action.
Oh!
So you still have an action.
Sweet. Well, I'm going to shoot this guy then with my bow. Maybe.
Ooh.
That's a good shot. But I missed it. Who were you shooting at?
Oh, the big guy.
You got it. I'm pretty sure 17 hits. That's a good number.
You have advantage.
You have advantage.
Yeah, that's what John
Advantage.
said. So if it doesn't hit, then I will reroll.
Why don't you roll again? So it gives me
Well,
a couple seconds
you might
to
get a crit.
look it up.
I did not get a crit. I got a 13.
Dang. Well, you definitely hit.
Okay, great.
Ugh.
Ugh.
He's only at 4 health.
Oh, great. Hey, I did something. Yay.
You did something.
Winning.
I like that part, though, where you were like, oh gosh, this is awful, as I'm deleting the guy. And I guess I can delete this arrow. Nailed it.
I do love how there's a guy way out on
Yep.
the dock here, and he's like basically incapacitated.
Just short of it. Robomorthos, as played by Holden, you also have a turn.
Morthos will Mega Man the parasitic arm and fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at this guard here with the Great Sword.
Man, now that you've said compared him to Mega Man, I am super for that.
Yeah, it's pretty
lemon
great, actually.
pellets.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Total of 4 damage.
That's
Yep, lemon
wonderful. All right. Cool. Well, maybe next time he will remember that he's supposed to charge that up first.
Yeah, you gotta hold down A.
Yeah, it's important. Okay, well, we are going to briefly go to phase 10.99. And have first this guardsman who's going to heroically try and out great weapon Tyrus. We'll see how that goes.
It's gonna happen probably.
This one.
It happened.
It did happen. For. Oh. All right, we'll call that one a draw.
I don't know. I think 9 is greater than 5.
That's true, but 21 is greater than whatever you did.
20.
So I'm saying, it's about even. He is also going to. They are both going to attempt to call reinforcements. So I'm going to roll. Now there's only 2 left. 2d20. Oh, hey, that actually happened.
Whoa.
You know what? The one who just heroically, if maybe not terribly effectually, hit Tyrus a little bit, shouts out that he needs help. Because they're outnumbered now. That pack beast just died. And you spot a couple of heads pop out from the boat. And I'm going to roll 1d3. Wonderful. And we're going to spawn 3. Oh my gosh, that actually worked. I'm so proud of me.
You critted.
A few dock workers also maybe shook from the fact that their ship is technically in that explosion. So at the very least, they would have felt it. And then I'm going to have this 1 health guardsman fire at the closest target that's Mira with his crossbow.
And he's going to miss. Nope, he does not.
You said it with just enough authority, though, and I was like, oh, yeah.
It would have been neat if he had, though.
Yep. If I remember right from the last session, these guardsmen have actually been kind of on point today.
Yeah, they're kind of jerks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, that's the end of the round. Before we go back to the top, you guys hear a noise. There's no rolls necessary. Rayon, you're indoors. You can even hear it just fine. You might even see that your frenemy Martis recoils as he hears a bass rumbling, growling scream. And through the fire that is still burning but is not, necessarily line of sight breaking, you see Boss Bush, still clearly injured, but on top of one of these pack beasts, screaming. And this beast plunges through the fire, taking a small amount of damage, as he didn't necessarily want to, but doesn't seem to have much control. And Boss Bush, as it gets through the fire, screams at the lot of you, "I'll ransom your teeth to your next of kin!" And I will put him back on the turn order chart.
Did he go through that crater?
This beast leapt clear over this entire area.
Holy crap.
Holden!
Make my peek around the corner. I'll fire 1 crossbow bolt at the guy that Tyrus is fighting. And see if that's enough to kill him, and then make decisions after
that. You still have advantage, so you still have 13 damage. Jeez. Well, this guy's really having a bad day, but it's not quite enough to take him out.
Hopefully Tyrus can. I'd like to move my Hex off of the dead pack beast onto Bushy Boss and use my 2nd crossbow bolt to attack him.
Seems like a thing that you can do. That seems neat. Okay.
I'm assuming a 23 hits for 13.
Yes. Let's see. 13. Math. There we go. We did it. Math. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is... The boss does not care that his faithful steed took fire and a direct shot from you. The beast probably cares a little bit. Anything else for you? I see you scooted away again.
Scoot back.
I appreciate that now you're controlling Morthos to ensure that you have a buffer.
Mhm.
We'll see how that goes for you. Advanced dodge from Martis. Rayun.
Okay, still pressing into the building.
Okay.
Go through the threshold.
So, as you go through the threshold, none of my buttons are working. Great. That's a plant. Hold on. Oh, you can see the boxes in here, because I moved them to the map layer when Rayun saw them. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, then it turns out you don't actually see much that you couldn't see already, except I will give you what just happened.
You got rid of everything.
Everything's gone.
Well, I
I will
certainly
give
don't
you
want that to happen.
nothing.
There is an undo button. I recommend you press the undo button.
Control Z, Control Z.
Undo.
Yeah, I would love to know where that undo button is, because
Right
Control
click
Z
on the
did not.
bare map. It'll be in one of the drop down menus from the right click. Or non-dominant mouse click.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Nope, that just moved the boss.
Did you change layers? You have to undo on the same layer you made the mistake on.
Let's see. Map. I think I can fix this another way. If I get just a moment, I'm just going to force these things back here and to the front. Did that help?
I see nothing.
Did I do?
I see empty buildings.
Okay, we're going to try a couple quick things. And if I can't figure out what I did wrong, we're just going to have a field day.
You also just made the boss disappear.
Yeah, that one I know. I will take care of that in just a moment. I'm looking for my boxes. Nope, at this point, I'm just moving deckhands around. Okay. But you guys can see the map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens if I move these to the GM layer? You guys still can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
But then I will just move them to the token layer.
There they are.
And I'm not going to worry about the fact that they're on the token layer now. All right. And I'm also, because I am on top of things, I swear, going to return the boss and remove the hit points that he lost, which was 4 plus 13? Nailed it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I'm also not going to worry about the fact that all the furniture's gone in the office. We don't care about that. It all exploded.
Yeah.
And
there
the
we
ship
go.
sunk? Question mark?
Wow, and the ship's gone. That's a surprising one. It sunk too,
Nice.
temporarily.
Morthos was gonna set it on fire anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, I will probably fix that at some point. Okay, so the thing that I was trying to show you in there all along is that there's also a dude in here who looks severely injured. He is probably wearing the nicest clothes of anybody that you've seen in here, and is just slumped against the door/crate here in the corner. He doesn't even have the strength to get up. You could see there he's clutching his chest pretty heavily. And like he gives you a look of ugh, whatever.
I will. Oh, I have enough movement to go up to him, right?
Yeah, you've only moved 5 feet. You got plenty.
Okay. I'll go up to him and I'll give him a couple. If I can do this correctly, a couple points of lay on hands, which, if memory serves, is 5 times my level in Paladin for each lay on hands. So that would be 10. Or I think that's what it is. It's either 10 or 20.
Ooh, that's a pretty big difference, but
You have that pool of HP to spend throughout the day with lay on hands, not every time you use it.
Oh, okay. So 2 points of lay on hands to help.
all right. Well, that puts him up to. I should make sure now I can show you the health bar. Thanks for that, kid. Should probably save it for when the boss finds you, though. That's probably going to be a bad day.
Are there anybody else in here?
And he otherwise does not respond.
Yep. Do I notice anybody else in there?
You see crates. What I will add, because there has been an explosion, that there is this crate here was affected by the fireball spell, and there is glass all over the place. Like you kind of maybe had to delicately walk a little bit to avoid shards of glass from what is very clearly broken bottles. I will give you, without any sort of perception check, it seems very likely that before the fireball spell that broke all of this stuff, the shatter spell that was cast earlier happened to break a bunch of glass bottles in this giant crate. And it's amazing how everything happened to work out the way it did.
Yeah.
So, I think that's probably all I can give you. You did take a move action, and I'm pretty sure Lay on Hands is a standard action.
It is.
So, boy, roll 20s. Oh, I figured out the problem. I moved the map to the token layer.
Hey, there it is.
Fixed it. All right.
Nice.
I'm just happy that the puzzle's been solved because I've been smiling and being pleasant, but also secret that's been driving me crazy. Okay. Unless, like, Ray, if you could think of something very small that you might want to add on, then that's fine. But otherwise, I am going to move on to the TMM block.
Call out in the, like in this room. Is there anybody else in here? And just leave it at that.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Perception.
And then, from there, we will go on to the TMM.
And just a normal roll?
Yep.
18.
That's a pretty good one. Then I'm going to DM you while I hear from Tyrus, Mira, and Robothos.
Robothos.
You go in first, Tyrus, and then I'll go?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to split this guy's head open with my great axe.
One of those is pretty. Oh.
Is he a 4 HP? I think he has 4
No,
HP.
he has 2 HP.
Oh,
but
perfect.
dang, that was close. Whoa. I even thought to myself when he did that and left him at 2 of like, I swear, Tyrus, if you roll 1 damage, I'm going to be so sad. I'm still kind of sad, but at least thank goodness you came out on top.
And then I'm gonna swing around and can I swap weapons as a bonus action? Or is that like a movement or?
I don't actually know.
Well, I'm not gonna move if you just want to use it as a movement.
I'll accept that for now.
Okay. And then this guy down here, I'm gonna bullseye him and finish that off. And he is no advantage, so it's actually a 9, so I missed.
Dang. We're all out of fairies.
We're all out of fairies. Oh well, it's the fire. I couldn't see him that well through the fire.
Mm-hmm. Or the flames.
Or the flames.
Yeah. All right. That's okay. Look, any turn where you kill something, that's a good turn. Let's keep going.
I am ready. Am I able to shoot this guy where he's standing in the doorway?
The doorway is down here. He is definitely out of your line of sight.
Okay. And this little guy on top of this giant thing?
I mean, little guy is relative. When last we saw him, I think I described him as DC villain Kingpin sized.
I mean more like token size compared to the giant token that he's sitting on top of.
I will say yes, you can aim at him,
Okay.
and I probably won't even give you disadvantage. I will tell you with no shame at all that he is still raging. No perception check, no reading the room. He is pissed off, and he's a barbarian.
I'm going for it. And now I'm running away. Since that definitely didn't work. And I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Holden.
Okay.
And I have a new one written. Oh! Things seem tight. You're in a bind. Let's see if this can boost your mind. I don't know why that came out like weird cheerleader, but that's what you get.
Love it.
I thought about doing it John Ralphio style and saying mind and body.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you end on the rhyme. Sorry. Okay.
All right. No, that's good. Before we get to more of those, I want to point out that if you heard that groan, that was me learning that I cannot eat jalapeno kettle chips when my mouth is lacerated this badly from the cheek bite.
Oh no! Ooh! Ooh!
So I've learned things.
Oh.
They're bad things.
Sounds terrible.
I think we still have Morthos.
Indeed you do. Moving him there for no reason, just for convenience sake, and I'm gonna try to Eldritch Blast the Barbarian twice.
That is 2 hits. Dang! Look at how much better this goes when he charges his Mega Blaster.
Yeah. I don't know why she's not adding charisma, so total 23. Well, you'll have to decide how that's halved, I suppose, if it's halved.
It probably would be halved each time. So that goes to 6 and 10 and 5, so 11. But yeah. He takes 2 Eldritch Blasts right to the dome. And considering he has not shown that he cares very much about pretty much anything that has happened to him so far, the fact that he reacts like pretty noticeably to those hits tells you he is not doing very well.
Good.
I think that is it for the TMM block. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So now we go to Boss Bush. And I mean, he realistically in these 6-second blocks hasn't really stopped moving. It's not like, we see it on the representation of the grid where he moves 30 feet and then waits 5 minutes. He is just charging at you guys. And so as he takes these 2 hits, just blap, blap, right to the shoulders, he has to grasp the reins particularly hard to stay his footing. But he does not stop, and neither does the pack beast. Tyrus, you are a soldier at heart. You have fought things, and you've probably killed things before.
I just killed a thing.
Yeah. But this is a 12 to 15 foot beast of burden with a giant barbarian on it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe you might close your eyes and brace for impact here. And there's no shame in that, right? Like, this is going to suck.
Probably. Or I'm going to try to dodge out of the way. I don't know.
Well, I'm kind of taking the reins on this one.
Sure.
Don't worry. Believe in me.
I believe in the you that believes in me.
Excellent. If only I believed in you. So,
guys, I'm making a new character. Good luck.
Even if it's just like a momentary flinch real quick, bracing for this hit, it's enough that the flesh on flesh crunching sound that you were expecting of this beast into your hopefully just armor doesn't happen. Instead, you hear a different noise that you have heard maybe once or twice in your life. And that's the sound of steel on flesh on stone. And the rest of you very clearly see as a pike, taller than a man, rains down from the heavens and goes cleanly straight through Boss Bush, the pack beast, and the pavement. And his momentum is halted by the fact that he is now skewered to the floor.
That's terrifying.
As the dust clears from the charging beast and the impact of that spear, you genuinely see that the spear has held its point and is still stuck in the ground, and the entire weight of that beast was not enough to pull it out of the ground. A second later, a second meteor hits the ground, and this one causes the whole lot of you, all of this except for you, Rand, because you're in the building. The 4 of you recoil as a blast, just genuine force knocks you back. You feel the wind being pushed against you. And when you turn back to look, there is a figure standing next to that corpse. And that figure is a monster of a person, clad entirely in black plate. As they get up from what has clearly been a dramatic leap, you see them lean over the now instantly lifeless body and, with only token force, pluck the spear from the combined corpse and ground. The docks are silent.
Do we recognize who this person is?
If you have any intelligence-based skills at all, feel free to roll them.
I'm all out of intelligence.
Yeah, unfortunately, Arcane is all I got too.
Let's see. You know what? Turns out none of those were relevant, but I will accept. I will accept your guys' raw intelligence rolls, which were actually pretty darn good. Because you guys have heard of this person, especially you two, Tyrus and Holden. 1000% you know who this is. You probably didn't actually need to roll. I just needed a couple seconds so that I could grab something real fast. There's no way this is anybody but Bondbreaker.
Is he on our side or is he on someone else's side?
That's actually a pretty good question.
Damn, I lost you guys. I'll be right back.
He sounds like a vigilante.
So that I can grab this link, which should work. Nailed it. I know how to link things. Now, Bondbreaker takes just a second to survey the scene, right? There's still a fire. There are 3 people on the dock that, I'm going to be honest, they fled back into the boat. Screw that.
And it's still on fire.
And it's still on fire. It's still safer than anywhere Bondbreaker is. And as the lot of you look on, Bondbreaker raises their spear slowly, points to the building that's on fire, and says,
"Got some lives to save."
Well, go get him, buddy. And I'm just going to slowly move back toward Holden. As I'm gesturing toward the building that Rayun's in. To be fair, my character takes care of herself first, so not running into the burning building.
Yeah, poking the bleeding holes in my own body. I agree, there are lives to save.
In response, Bondbreaker, looking at the group with the spear, points it at specifically Tyrus and what's still standing of Holden, and adds,
"Do your duty."
And before you have a chance to say anything, Bondbreaker leaps into the air and is almost instantly out of sight. I'm going to have, before you guys, as Bondbreaker is leaving, I would like everyone to roll perception. I'm not going to type this. I'm going to invite Tyrus to, let's go to spoiler space.
Wait, what about me? I got a 23. That's not good enough.
That's not good enough.
Okay, I'm going to follow you and take my ears off.
That works. Actually, you know what, Meg? I'm going to let you have this one because that is a very good roll. Why don't you come anyway? But
Okay.
Tyrus, this is important for you.
Okay.
You won me over. That was a very good roll. I'll give you that one.
I was like, wait, the
It's pretty
streak's
good,
got to
yeah.
come with you.
Initially, the metric here was I am not going to give anybody this information unless they roll a natural 20.
Nice.
And then you rolled a natural 20. And I was like, well, all right, fine.
Yes. Nice. I get to learn something. I'm going to say that's the captain.
And then, Mir, I'll give you this too, as you just rolled really well.
I'll pretend I don't know since I didn't get a 20.
No, it's fine. I'll give you this one. You made a good enough argument. The two of you spot, as Bondbreaker is leaving, that tied around their waist, around their backside, you see, well, you've seen one because Holden has one. That's a bag of holding.
Bag of holding. Interesting. Wonder what it's holding.
Is that where it holds all of his goods? His goods and gold?
Is that where it holds all the broken bonds?
Or the lives he's saving? Can we take it?
No. No,
Oh,
you
okay,
cannot.
he's too far away.
I assume we see it as they're like leaping through the air.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
This is like, as he's leaping to the north, you just barely catch a glimpse of that. I'm like, wait a second, I've seen one of those before. Anyway, now I'll see you back in Game Nights chat.
Ooh.
Nice.
Why, hello.
I heard someone say that once in a video game, and I don't even remember which video game.
We learned some very spicy information.
The spiciest.
Is it free to share?
Not in the moment, because there's still a fire going on.
Yep, and I am in the fire. Just not in it, but you get what I mean.
You're in it to win it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to break combat here because you're pretty much out of things to fight. Hey, look, this guy that was almost dead over here fell into the water from the blast that Bondbreaker gave off when they landed. So
would I have heard it, like the sound in the building, or no?
You would likely have heard the spear impact. It was very loud. You definitely would have heard Bondbreaker's impact.
Okay.
That was a figure clad in plate mail landing from goodness knows how high up. Right? This is like Iron Man hitting the ground. So, that being said, there's still a burning building. What's up, guys?
Well, I'm still in it.
Yeah.
And I am going to go...
Oh, I'm sorry. One quick thing to add, Rayun, because I learned how to do this in between sessions.
Yeah.
Fire spreads.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
This aura function's really neat. I like that.
I'll yell out, stand back, and I start breaking the box open.
Okay. Why don't you give me a strength check? And while you do that, I'm going to ask, what's everybody else up to?
14.
I have an idea.
All right, let's hear it.
Can we run to the boat where we saw all those people pissed off and all that stuff and be like, hey, if you don't want your ship to catch on fire, come help us put this fire out? And maybe we can get some extra hands. Even though they were technically our enemy 5 seconds ago, maybe they're scared shitless of Bondbreaker that they'll help us.
You know what? I can see that. It may require a check on your part.
Sure.
Probably, was it persuasion or intimidation, depending on how you feel like doing it? And assuming those are both skills. I don't know why I can't memorize this skill tree.
They are. So probably let Mira do it instead of me, since
That seems fair.
she's better at talking.
Does a 19 do it? And John had to go AFK real quick, so I'm going to say that Morithos and Holden follow me, and we're all going to start trying to rally the troops and get that fire out.
Okay.
I will follow you as well.
I will. Why don't you roll for yourself, Tyrus, as an assist check? And
Sure.
I will roll for the other two. And we'll see how that goes. Let's do persuade. Oh, wow, he's not charismatic. And Morithos, who's mildly charismatic. This button. Oh, he's very charismatic. Wow.
Nice.
Okay. That is plenty. Like, hey, you don't have to work too hard because their boat's on fire and might already be taking on water, but the combined effort of the four of you shouting, hey, maybe you can get off easy if you help us save lives or whatever, is probably enough. And Mira, like, I'm curious, how are you phrasing this? Like, pitch me on this.
What are you going to do? Just stand there? Your docks are burning. You're responsible for taking care of this space. Help us put this fire out. I'm making it all about them. Like, it's their place. And they're just standing there watching it burn like idiots. Not that we're not the idiots that started the fire. Just that they are the idiots who are responsible for fixing it.
I'm going to give you that not only do those three dock workers that you saw, but also one of the guards leap out pretty quickly, and you can hear the dock workers arguing until that guard's... You idiots. The boss is dead from that thing? You think for a second we're going to get leniency?
Yeah.
And
that's my guy.
Yeah. So the four of them come out, and I mean, you know, they are available to help you. Oh, nope, I'm moving the boat by accident.
They untied it.
Boat is flying away.
They're trying to move it away from the flames to keep it safe.
I've played Sea of Thieves before. The boat sinks and it starts to just drift however it feels like.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Hopefully
we all know there's a bunch of bailing buckets on board, so we're going to use those and maybe start like a fire brigade and start like splashing water up.
Well, and hopefully they see us working on it also, so it's not just like we're standing around doing nothing and telling them they have to do it.
Yeah, it's a combined effort, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm throwing water on it as I'm yelling to them. Come, help us save your docks.
Okay. They might also be motivated by the fact that the fire will soon be on the docks and they need to get off anyway. But yeah, plenty enough that they start running past, and I'm gonna move you out of the way for convenience sake. And sure, they even thought to bring a couple buckets from their ship because, again, Sea of Thieves, everybody's got a bucket.
Exactly.
And they can at least start throwing water on this fire, and maybe that will help stop it from spreading out here for a little bit. Rayun, on your end, you hit it with your sword, and because it's probably better than punching it, right?
Yeah.
And This box is magic. You definitely like get some chips out of it, but it is not going particularly well. I want you to make a second strength roll.
Okay.
And I'm even going to let you make one more.
Okay.
Okay. So the second swing doesn't do anything, right? You switch things up. Maybe you hit it with the pommel instead, and it's just not getting through this wood because there's something going on. You even hear the guy behind you letting out another one of those really pained chuckles. As your third strike starts to get through and you start to you can now pretty clearly hear some screams from inside the crate. You can even kind of you could see there's a hole, maybe the size of your hand if you close all of your fingers together. You're starting to punch through, but it's tough. You feel a hand on your shoulder though. And if you turn to see who's there, you find mildly singed Martis is standing behind you. And he hands you a crowbar.
I take the crowbar and I look at him and I go, "Thank you." And I use it to pry open the box.
Give me 2 more strength checks, and they are both at advantage. Wonderful.
Beautiful.
This crowbar chews right through this thing. As if maybe it is also magic. And in seconds, this fire is really getting to be bad. I'm even moving you here as the fire starts to grow a little. But you punch a hole in it, and you can't. Taking a couple seconds to count what you see, you can count no less than 24 folks in here. Mercifully, sheltered from the fire by the magic box, but not necessarily sheltered from the smoke. They are in various states of chained or otherwise manacled, that they're not going very far. Some of them are chained to the inside of the crate itself. Very quickly you see one of them, by the way, also stripped down to next to nothing, right? Lucky if they can call themselves clothed. They have no personal possessions at all. In the corner you see one particular elf girl who definitely matches a description, but let's be real, that's not important in the moment. There are a lot of lives. The girl does, however, look up at you, and she shouts, "Please, you've got to get us out of here."
I'm doing everything I can. Let's try to get these chains off. And I try to use the crowbar to pry apart the chains.
Let's keep going. Give me an advantaged strength check. That's about what I expected. That it's slow progress because this is not exactly what this thing was made for, but it's enough that you can pry enchanted metal from enchanted wood, and yeah, you're slowly able to get people free, just like whoever's close, right? It's not even necessarily the target.
Yeah. Go for it again.
Before you do, there is a quick sound of steel through air. I meant to roll that with advantage. There we go. Good enough. Martis, from behind you, you hear the sword fly through the air and land straight into the gut of the man standing behind you, or sitting behind you. Martis did not murder for no reason, because you see him almost immediately rifle through his pockets, and assuming that you are looking at him, right? A second later, just hurls a key at you.
I like this redemption arc.
The fire is not particularly good for you, but the magic crate, turns out, is. And Martis bails out of the building because he is pretty badly wounded and the fire is getting to him. But with the key in hand, you don't even need to make strength checks anymore, right? You can easily unlock the locks that are holding these manacles in place. The elf girl, even as she herself gets free, asks, "The crowbar, please."
I hand it over.
As soon as you do, she, with equal fervor, starts blasting through these chains. She doesn't even look particularly strong, right? Like, she might not have eaten in the last couple days. Yes, Holden. That's actually exactly what's going on. And I should add, while this is going on, the fire circle is expanding, but only as it's pertaining to the inside of the building. Actually, the 8 of you are doing a pretty good job of containing the fire out here. I just don't have a great way to do 1/4 of a radius.
You can probably put down a water token and do a blue radius.
Yeah, but I only have the fire token made.
Dang it!
I know. That's just, I've had this token made for like 8 years. It was really handy to have on hand.
Well.
So, if you could, describe to me this scene from your perspective.
From Rayan's perspective.
Yep.
As the fire encroaches, like, seeing these people chained up, and the girl that we've been looking for basically is just like hammering away and crowbarring. Rayan is starting to get a little bit like get more like he gets more adrenaline like pumping through him, and he just starts pulling trying to pull the chains and trying to get as many people as he can out of these this area.
Mhm.
Trying to get the people that are coughing the most out, like just trying to get them fresh air and away from the smoke.
Okay. Well, the fire does a pretty good job of doing what it does best, and it continues to expand into the building, but you are moving bodies out pretty quickly. And so you really don't have to worry too much about people catching singed flames. Like, listen, it's going to hurt. They're going to get some pink skin for a little bit, but they'll probably be okay. And yes, bunch of people, women, men, children, elderly, all shapes and sizes, varying degrees of lung capacity. So people are coughing, choking all over the place as they're getting out. As you and Irian make your way out last, Martis is out with the crowd and is doing, I mean, the best he can with suddenly having a couple dozen people to tend to, but is trying to like lay people down and at least try and like make sense of what's happening. While this is going on, about this point, from the other side, we'll go back to the whole rest of the party. How's that? While I desperately look through my tokens, because I swear I had this one, where did it go? Gosh dang it. That's fine. We'll figure it out in a minute. You hear from the gates to the north a veritable army of shouting. And over the din of that, way louder than anybody else, you hear a familiar voice shout out over the crowd. Now what is this? Fine. And you see Commander Christail marching with a veritable, easily 100 guardsmen. And she wastes no time giving orders, pointing at the first group and shouting out, "You lot, get in there and tend to the wounded. You lot, get to the fire. Do I have any mages that can put this fire out?" And as they start dividing themselves into groups, I think it's
/GM, I think.
Is that what it works?
W space GM.
Yep. I use /W and the player's name, but
Nice.
whatever you just did also works. Where the fudge is my Christail token? I know I had it. No, not that one. Maybe I didn't. Well, fine. I'll do this hard way. Either way, you know what Christail is, and she will be on the scene in a second. But in the meantime, she is on the scene, and please, there we go. Fully being aware of the lot of you, she did not overlook you as you were handling the fires. She marches right up to you while her guards start taking to the fire. She looks over at it and says, "So I'm guessing this is you?"
Except for the barbarian and the beast of burden, that was Batman.
What? What are you talking? So, soldier, I'm going to need a proper debriefing. And I'm probably going to need it very quickly.
Should we stop putting out the fire and debrief?
At this point, the contingent of guards is taking over the firefighting. Oh.
By walking into the fire, nice.
Once again, the fire outside of the building radius is doing pretty good. But also, you could see, like, she has wizards and sorcerers that are also casting spells to help put the fire out. Like, one of them is conjuring a blizzard.
Would you say this is Wizards of the Coast?
I would not.
They're more like Wizards of the Dock.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, in response, they've got it under control. And you can see she's actually making a lot of effort to maintain some composure here. Like, she doesn't even look like she is mad. more just trying to figure out what's happening. And she's... Forgive me, citizen. Would you mind telling me what's going on?
Gonna explain to her, basically give her the short story of what we found at the masseuse place to what we've done here. How we're looking for a girl, a young elf girl, and then we just stumbled upon basically a human trafficking ring.
We were attacked and defended ourselves. Important, we were attacked and defended ourselves.
We were attacked and defended ourselves.
And probably those other 4 people on the dock should be arrested because they were all part of it too. Goddamn slavers.
They are, the lot are helping with the fire brigade and are doing so very clearly, like, trying to make nice with the guards. Commander Christale... Well, I sure would have liked to have some evidence of all of this before we went in. I've been trying to get my hands on it for a little while.
Well, it's one of those situations where it was more like probable cause because they attacked us. And we were just defending ourselves, and then we stumbled upon the evidence.
And do we know outside that Rayun has found the girl? Because I
Nope.
feel like I don't know that I know that.
Realistically, I don't actually think you have any actual knowledge right now of human trafficking yet.
Help!
Fair point.
Injured on the other side of the building.
Yeah, that's fair.
Did we hear the screams?
A couple of you did.
Okay.
I think I'm going to say, because I don't remember from the previous session, that I think it was Tyrus and Mira heard. And then Rayun actually rolled terribly, but he was standing right next to the building, so I'm giving it to him too.
Yeah.
So you heard something, but you also, in the moment, definitely heard Rayun and Martis echoing him, shouting for help on the other side of the now much less burning building. The most of these guards that are helping contain the fire, at least we'll say the non-magical ones, rush over to offer aid and even orient themselves properly. And now, suddenly, Rain, you don't even have to worry anymore. These folks are taking control of the situation and doing so very effectively. Seeing that he's not needed, Martis in particular, like, kind of makes eye contact with Rain and then starts to slip past the guards back this way. I wish I remembered character skills. Sorry, I have to roll something very quickly. Oh, okay. So there is a bit of a kerfuffle at this point, as maybe another 30 seconds, a minute of firefighting and humanitarianism goes by. Oh, that's not even a great term for this because there's all sorts of races in that box. Before it seems like maybe the guard have kind of got the situation under control. And so I'm going to politely have Rayun and Irian join with the main crowd. As this scenario starts to get under control, Christale, who, I mean, honestly, looks like she ran here, and a lot of the guard do too. Like, this was pretty urgent. The most I got was a couple of dock workers that were fleeing the docks said that there was an explosion. And I got a brief description of someone that sounded a little bit like you, and she points to Mira. Not exactly the crime ring that I was hoping you would help me solve. But I have to admit, I have been trying to find a hole in the Tatterweave Syndicate for about 2 months now. So to that end, thank you for your help.
We're happy we could be of assistance.
She points to Boss Bush and Mount. Sorry, so what happened over there?
What the hell?
Oh yeah, Rayun, you're just now seeing this. It kind of looks like he turned into a volcano of flesh and blood, like with a spout right down the center.
What the hell did that? Was that clang from earlier?
Yeah, Bondbreaker came from nowhere and skewered him like a pig that he is.
What did he look like?
Large, full plate armor.
She, as you say that, actually, as you start describing Bondbreaker, Christale interjects, "Wait, what? He's here?"
Was moments ago.
And
conveniently not the same place and time as you.
She draws her sword immediately. I swear if I find him. Everyone fan out. I want his spear. I want his head. And I want them now.
You keep saying he. I couldn't tell gender under the full plate. I would say they.
She is currently already holding her sword. But you see her grip tighten on it as she looks at you very fiercely. Soldier, if you have something you'd like to say, I suggest you do it very quietly and away from.
Is there take
like she with her
back
before you can with her free hand? She grabs you by the collar, pulls you in very tightly, and says, "Or even quieter and to my face alone."
Excuse me, Captain. Is there a reason why you're going after this, well, I would assume vigilante?
She drops Tyrus and points to the flesh volcano behind her. Says, "Because he kills without reason. Yes, he helped solve this. But do you realize the trail of bodies that I've had to follow in his wake?"
No, which is why I'm asking. Never mind. But I do understand.
She doesn't give in. With this, 38 bodies. that I have to clean up, that I have to send my guard to deal with. And he gets to what? Leap in and leap out? You don't save the day, well, unless apparently you're adventurers. By showing up to the scene, making a bunch of bodies, and disappearing. That's not how the guard work.
We clearly didn't leave the scene, and as we're trying to clean up our mess now, so I wouldn't lump us into that. Clearly putting myself under more duress by saying that to her.
I mean, it's not possible for her to look angrier at you, but it seems like she's trying.
Is she straining? Like,
She is grasping her sword very tightly, and that seems like that is where most of her anger is being focused, channeled into. After a good couple seconds of quiet, she's... You have done a service to the city, and I am in your debt for that. I will ask if you would not mind assisting the guard further. Meet with Goddess Taffer. She is the one that called for backup. I believe she is the one who initially recommended against you going into the docks in the first place. And when she saw you the second time and escorted you, she came and got us as soon as you were left to your own devices. I believe that she is currently investigating and looking for more potential victims and culprits to the east of here. And if you will forgive me for the burst of emotions, I will do my best to have them in check when you return.
Cool. I guess we'll head to the other guard and see if we can assist her.
Christale resheaths her sword on her back, and you see her, like, as the guard are milling about cleaning up the scene, like you see them starting to like bust into buildings. She takes just a moment and, walking over to the pack beast and the remains of Boss Bush, sits down against the beast's corpse and just throws her head back, which like just barely connects with Bush's leg.
Is there any more of his body left to search for any evidence?
I mean, probably. He didn't like explode. I'll give you that much.
Okay.
More like he got split open.
I'm going to walk over and be like, ma'am, if you don't mind, I'm going to investigate this body for any evidence.
She, I'll say, like, sort of dismissively waves her hand at the body's general direction Very prudent. Do what you need to.
Do I find any sweet loot on him?
That's the problem with monks is they don't really use stuff. Not a lot of magic weapons and things like that.
Maybe
You
like a letter
Go
or
ahead.
something like that.
Uh,
Some type of damning evidence that might, some type of lead maybe. I'm not just searching for sweet loot. I'm actually just searching for anything that could help us.
doesn't look like he was carrying a lot of stuff on his person.
Okay.
But I don't think it is too much of like leading or directing you to point out that until seconds before you guys started fighting, he was in his office. Yeah, but other than that, you actually maybe the thing you do find is a broken glass bottle that looks like it held some sort of potion in it. Like just shards of it.
I'm gonna head back to the group and be like, so should we investigate his office before we head out? See if we can find anything, any evidence.
Evidence of what? I mean, at this point, Rayun found Anime Girl, which is all we cared about for trying to get Honor to give us some more information, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then we've just been reassigned by Chris Tail to another guard to follow up, I assume, the story thread about this group. I don't know what we'd be looking for, I guess. Maybe I'm lost.
I'm thinking of back to our previous quest or task from her where we're helping figure out the murders for the warehouses. Maybe this is connected.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my thought process, at least.
That is a reasonable thought process. Why don't you guys go ahead and give me some investigation checks? Anybody who feels like rifling through some documents.
I'm clearly the idea guy and not the execution guy.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Eh.
Good job, team. Very briefly, because as soon as I finish this description, I'm going to say 5-minute break and just let everybody stretch their legs real fast. There are a lot of records in here. This guy probably, this guy took a lot of records of legit transactions and also 1 or 2 ledgers worth of illicit transactions. But when you flip through the illicit stuff, because I mean, the legal stuff, who cares about that? It looks like he was a smuggler. Like you don't see any pattern. It looks like if it needed smuggling, this organization took care of it. Alcohol, Mossbrook silks, that's probably going to get him in trouble. Maybe even more than the people, but probably not. But definitely people being smuggled. He was happy to move whatever, but you can't find anything that would tie him to any murders. No.
No murders, no extortion.
Nah, not really.
Okay. It's good enough for me.
Run-of-the-mill asshole.
I mean, listen, sometimes evil people are just evil. As the search finishes up, Irian grabs Rayun by the hand real quick. Can I borrow you real fast?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
I just wanted to say thank you, but I don't even know who you are. What's going on?
Well, for starters, my name is Rayun Nayfaron, and my friends and I are on a giant quest to help out the Culinarians Guild. Um, and we ended up, well, uh, finding out that you were missing, and went in search for you and ended up here. Like, well, I guess killing that guy and stopping whatever illicit transactions there were.
I'm so sorry you got caught up in this. I should. I'm guessing that the mistress sent you. Um, can I stay with you until you head back? I don't want to go through the city alone right now.
Of course.
Thank you.
Oh, and before I forget, he pulls out the necklace, right?
Mhm.
And hands it to her.
Her eyes do start to swell up. I pawned that to get money to help with the recruiting. And thank you.
You're welcome, he says with a warm smile.
All right, fam. Let's take a 5-minute break because I could use some standing up time.
Sounds good.
Sounds
up,
good.
Up.
it should. You have to go on Rise of the Resistance.
Oh yeah.
It is not an easy line to get through. It takes a while, but it is so worth it. I maintain, I have told this to many people, and my girlfriend, and I think I was there with Zeph, might have been someone else, agrees.
Well, he's in chat. He might be able to confirm.
You know what? Actually, I don't think it was Zeph. I think it was a mutual friend of ours.
His other
Not
better
to.
friend.
Yeah, of course. The friend I actually go to Disney with.
Oh, burn.
Dang. Maybe Zeph
We
should
have
step
agreed.
it up.
We have agreed that it is the most impressive ride we have ever been on, and it might be currently the most impressive ride in the world.
It's using Omnimover, right? Something like that.
Yeah, that's a nice way to say it. We call it Roomba Tech.
Roomba tech. I love it.
But yeah, that is what they're doing. So that is a strong, hard recommend from me, is make sure that you go on that.
Yeah.
And also a lot of the food places around there, Docking Bay 7, Ronto Roasters are also good places to eat. And it sounds like you'll be there around a good food time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So the Smuggler's Run is okay and is worth doing once, but like you could make a good couple hours out of just the Rise line plus the lightsabers plus like having a good sit down meal. I highly recommend it.
All right.
And that is Zell's Disney Minute. Yeah. Let's get back to a different fantasy world.
A D&D world.
Wonderful.
Do not disturb.
Disney and what?
Disney and dining.
Dalmatians.
Zeph says to ask how things went at when you were in Japan taking a giant to a theme park.
Actually, that is a really good thing to bring up because I did not go with Zeph. I went with our mutual friend from before, and I love him to death. Our mutual friend is very stout. He is stockily built.
He's a dwarf.
If you didn't think about it and you were a bad person, you would call him fat. And he's not really, so much as he is built to be a wide guy. Like I was describing the Kingpin mentality of the Kingpin body type. He's actually pretty close to that, like shrunk down a little bit. And the reason I describe him so clearly is because we went to Tokyo Disney and had a very good time. But one of the things that we did was we went on Space Mountain there. And as we were walking up to it, we were approached by a pair of very pleasant Tokyo Disney cast members who pulled him aside real fast. I was confused. I just stood there for a few minutes. And as he has relayed it to me, he says that they described as they were walking that this ride had been built for Japanese-sized people.
No.
And so they would appreciate it if he would try and fit himself into a test cart. And so they walked him behind the scenes, and I'm very envious of that, and into a room where they had one of these Space Mountain cars set up just to see if he could fit in it. And it took a little bit of sucking it in and forcing a bar down, but he did get the thing to click. And so he was allowed to ride the ride. But he just came back and he explained all that to me, and he said that was the most polite anybody has ever been to him about his size.
Oh, dude.
You know for a fact that if this was America, that test cart would have been outside in front of the line, and they would have just been like, hop in the car and see what happens.
I mean, Universal has that. I know at Hollywood, because we did the same thing. He rode with us on the Harry Potter ride, and they have
The
a test
Hagrid
cart
one.
there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not the Hagrid one. That's just like the regular roller coaster. We're talking like
Oh.
the you're sitting in a booth, flying around Hogwarts one.
Got it.
And he sat down, and like it took him sitting down and pulling, and two of us pushing on the bars because it was like the overhead
Oh no.
fastener kind. But we got the thing to click. It gave us the green light. So we go through the line and we sit down and we get him into the seat as best we can. But as we're getting towards the start of the ride, they like emergency evac us, and all of the bars shoot up, and like commando yelling like, move, get out. And
Damn.
respectfully and all, but urgently. And they pull us into a side room. This time I did get to see behind the scenes, and it was awesome, even though it was just a green room. And they were like, hey, sorry, we had one of the seat fasteners not lock properly. And we're like, oh, that's a big deal. And, you know, our friend is like, yeah, that was probably me. It just didn't fit. And he's like, did you try the thing? And he's like, I tried the thing and it worked. You know, we just maybe need to push a little harder. And he's like, don't. Give it all you got. We as employees are not allowed to apply pressure like that. But you two, and he points to me and my other friend, he's like, you're allowed to beat on that thing as much as you want.
I feel like
sure
if you're putting that much stress against their contraptions, I mean, that's usually where failures come in, right?
I mean, I feel I have watched other roller coaster failures in the past, and it tends to be that a lock doesn't lock properly at all, which is what happened the first time. But if you get it to that locking point, it's usually fine.
Got it.
And so he put us back in line, like right at the front of the line, and this time, before either of me or the other friend sat down, we got this friend sit down, and we just like body check the thing. But we get it to lock, and the dude is even there, and he like kind of gives us a thumbs up.
Oh my goodness, that's
Dude.
crazy.
Yeah.
I just like I can hear the park workers just going, "Oh, sumimasen."
It was
like so polite.
I only saw the very first part where they were like, "Hey, can we talk to you real fast?" And even that was like, it was so respectful, so polite. It kind of seemed like he was being picked for something special.
Oh, dude.
Like I was kind of envious of like, oh man, what's going on? I want to do it.
Oh, they're gonna ask him to dress up as Gaston.
Oh.
So yeah, I've completely lost the thread of where we were going, except that I highly recommend the Rise of Resistance ride, and don't be afraid to beat up your friends for the sake of a good time.
Well, my family in this case.
Moral of the story.
Yeah, I think that is a great moral to the story. And my cat's making weird noises. I hope it's my cat. Otherwise, there's somebody broken into my house.
No.
I think I'm going to. No, it's definitely my cat. Okay. So let's get back to the game real quick. We do still have a little under an hour.
Woo.
So now with Irian in tow, it sounds like, is there anything else that you wanted to do at this scene before you moved on to rendezvousing with Gardas Taffer?
Nope.
I think I'm ready for the rendezvous.
Going to see Gardas Taffer.
Sounds good. So as you are leaving, and maybe just like catching a quick break, you see the guards in this area are starting to pull crates out from freaking pretty much all of these buildings. And it looks like you are seeing all sorts of illegal goods, but not necessarily people. That's nice.
Well, that's good.
But they were all over the place. Literally every one of these buildings open for exploration. So, I have to transfer us to the next scene. I'll do that in a minute. So, as you leave the Havencrest docks, great name for what happened here. The scene brightens up almost immediately because if you remember, it's actually kind of like evening, but it's still kind of sunny out. So when you leave this area, the gloom lifts a little bit, and it's pretty quiet because you have frankly beaten the crap out of most of the employees of this area. But otherwise, it's kind of pleasant. Darn right nice out here. Oh yeah, that's a good point. You know what? Morthos, being otherwise incapable of making any decisions right now, is more than happy to help you carry around Glitch's bits.
He gets the strong arm upgrade now because Robothos.
If we have an hour, I can fix him. If we don't have an hour, maybe I'll just disassemble him and put him into the bag of holding.
I don't know if I actually said this, but I was supposed to. That Taffer was looking into trying to make sure there were no more victims. Like, I was gonna say human trafficking, but again, not quite right. We'll just say trafficking victims. So with that knowledge, I'm going to leave it to you whether or not you would like to take a rest or not. Totally up to you. Like, you, once you're out of line of sight of Christail, who cares?
I'm okay with taking a rest because I have nothing. I am spent. So if we can do a short rest, then we get Glitch back. We can heal a bit.
Won't be able to get your, most of your spells back, except amusingly Morthos, I think, gets his.
I'm on board with the rest.
Well, by all means. Like I said, the weather's looking nice. You can find nice, shady, we'll say even like a little like mini park. So
and then we're gonna finish investigating the rooms for other trafficking victims.
The guard looks like they have this area handled under pretty careful control.
Perfect.
But Taffer was looking for guards further out to the east, yeah. Or looking out for other victims. So feel free to spend any of your healing dice. I like watching Glitch blink in and out of existence, but I'm happy to see him again. It means I can do that real fast.
How many are healing? We've got quite a few healing. I'm going... Can I do Song of Rest? I don't need a spell slot for that, right?
I don't know what that is. If you wouldn't mind linking it.
You got it.
Morthos can also do that.
Morthos has Prayer of Healing?
According to his sheet. Out there, but it's there.
That way everybody gains an extra 1d6 hit points when you roll your hit die.
Yeah, that seems good. You're doing a short rest.
I gain 10.
Great. I think it's very important, Mira. Like, this is you raising spirits by giving a nice performance. So what does this look like for you? Like, what is your Song of Rest or performance of rest?
This Song of Rest will ease your soul, will fill your heart. That is my goal. 'Twill bring you health and with some luck, a hearty dose of give a fuck.
Nice.
Wow.
That was the song.
I I actually didn't know if you had that in the chamber. I'm
I have
impressed
2 other
and
ones
proud of
too.
you. Whew. Okay.
And
Is
demonetized.
Is it 1d6 per rest, or is it 1d6 per hit die we use?
I linked it.
Let me read it again.
When you,
Oh, just once.
it's just
Okay.
once, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to heal 23.
Okay.
Almost back to full. That's a good rest. Thank you.
I'll look at
I'm
Mhm.
full of flux again.
I'll go up to 35.
All right. A lot of red numbers.
And this is a short rest, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the rest of like, all right, everybody's just gonna like make quick camp and bandage up and quick drink from the flask, but not like, hey, we're gonna fall asleep for a while. All right, so everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Feel free to let me know if there's anything else we need to do during this rest. But otherwise, I think there's no other way that I can make this transition except to have everybody make a perception check. Would you stop
I
that?
am just so good tonight at
Jeez.
perceiving things.
I am so fixated on just getting Irian out of here that I just do not notice anything else.
Yep. Mira, you also don't hear this? Yeah, Ray, and you got nothing, man.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not paying attention.
Yeah. Holden, your passive perception is pretty good, though, and actually that roll's all right, and Tyrus naturally. I'm not going to drag you guys into another room for this, but while you are walking through the docks, pretty fresh, feeling pretty good. We've got Glitch back, thank goodness. You hear you hear a sound that can best be described as screw it, Tyrus, you rolled a crit. That a woman gasping, and then the sound of flesh on floor.
Oh no.
What happened?
Someone just passed out. Or was knocked out.
Was attacked.
In what direction?
Or is humping.
Or is humping. Someone's getting it on, maybe.
In what direction?
Prepare for the worst or the best. We'll see.
The direction is further to the east, and not much further.
I'm going to go in the direction of the sound.
Sounds good. Russian head on in.
How do you know he's Russian?
I think he's Iranian.
So the you pass a couple quick turns from where you're at, and the scene in front of you is honestly pretty cut and dry. Of you spot this transition. I forgot to transition myself. Awesome.
Whoa.
There
the
is
hell?
a man, probably hunched over the very clearly lifeless body of the Gardas Taffer that you had encountered previously. He has a knife in his hand that is still clearly bloody. And even though this figure, clad fully in red traveling robes and a mask that does not betray his face in the least bit, he just has the stance of somebody who is pleased with himself. And as I populate everybody onto the map, not that way. Hopefully this works, because I'm still not... Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Nah, that's why it's not going to work. He perks up. And well, aren't you right on time? And Songbird, I knew you would come. How wonderful.
I'm assuming this is the guy that I had the vision of and that I warned Holden about. So
at the very least, the voice is the same. And, from the look of it, it looks right. You never really looked in a mirror, but seems that way.
Get Holden's attention and give him like a shorthand. We got to stop this guy.
Feel free to arrange yourselves. I'm just plopping you on the map.
And I'm
somewhere in these first 2 rows.
I think it's time we get better acquainted.
In case you couldn't hear the smile in his voice loud enough, he even chuckles a bit. I think it's long past that time, Songbird. But first, I do think I'm outnumbered. From his robes, very quickly, he throws out a couple small bottles, maybe only like 2 ounces. Very small. They splash on the ground, and a tiny bit of blood pours out of them. And from that blood emerges a sort of familiar chaos. Sounds that don't quite sound like they should exist, and formations of flesh that twist and shape unnaturally. Bones and joints should not do that.
No goblemo.
If only. In front of him, the largest of the pools erupts the most chaotically, and as the form rises from the pool, you hear him say, I hope you didn't think it would be that simple, Songbird.
Holy crap.
How about everybody roll me a fresh initiative?
I'm readying Fairy Fire.
That's fair.
I ready my shield.
Dang it.
I'm
sorry. I rolled a 15, but I didn't have my character selected.
Whoops.
Yep.
As did I.
I had not yet cleared the initiative, so I'm going to have to do all this manually anyway. Don't worry about it.
Sweet.
Give me just a minute. Well, I remember.
I think 3 of them actually did have it.
Yeah, 3 of them actually
They did,
on
but
there.
I had to get rid of all the other ones.
Oh, okay.
So don't worry. This is all on me. So we're gonna add a turn for Mira. Nope, I'm not gonna put her on the map level. That's embarrassing. One day, I will be so ready for this, and it is not today. Mira has a 15. Glitch doesn't get one. Rain gets turn at 9. Thank you. Tyrus gets turn at 17. That's pretty good. I have 2 Holdens, and I don't know which one's which.
Morthos rolled the 21. I unfortunately rolled the 3.
Got it. So Morthos gets a 21, which is excellent. And Holden is here too.
I didn't mean to roll a 3. That's just where the dice rolled out.
Yep. We're either the front of the pack or behind the pack now.
Yeah. And I guess as a ranged attacker, it's not the worst thing on earth to go last. There's not a huge advantage to going first.
Hey, me getting Fairy Fire down benefits everybody.
Well, yeah. And And I get to be a human meat shield because of my AC.
Well, I unfortunately think that he has better meat shields than we do.
Oh well, yeah.
I mean, one of these is made of meat.
Yeah,
It's...
A literal meat shield.
a literal meat shield. Maybe we can get a literal meat shield. Like it's a shield, but it's just made of like steaks.
Can I?
Put in a work order.
Called Blacksmith's Mistake.
Ha!
Before the fight, can I activate Divine Sense?
If you wouldn't mind linking me that one so I can remember which one it is.
It's the one that's fractionally as powerful as Divine Dollar.
Oh man.
That would actually be Divine Bill.
You know what? I'm going to give you this one even though it's an action because I imagine that I imagine this is the sort of thing that you would do when danger happens. And you got danger even before he started talking. So you reasonably could have done this as you heard as other people heard the attack. Here we go. And here we go. So I should make sure I know what you're looking for. Well, they're certainly not undead or celestial. I'm going to have to think about the last one. Give me a minute. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
It's complicated. In the meantime, let's start murdering.
Murder party.
I don't know why they insist on one of these didn't get a name, one of these got the correct name, and one of these got the wrong name. So I guess we're gonna start with the Strosh Estops.
He was supposed to be called Trevor.
Huh.
AKA Trevor.
That's a weird one, but yeah, sure, okay.
I don't even see these names.
It's only in the turn order list, and only for me, I guess.
We'll see it publicly when he makes an attack with it.
Gotcha.
Well, it even says properly for the initiative on the tracker, so it might just be on my end. I'm not going to worry too hard about it. It's just weird.
Also, Irian is hiding now, right?
You know what? That's a very reasonable thing to say. Irian is hiding politely off screen.
Okay.
Because frankly, I don't want to deal with it. This is Resident Evil 4 rules. She found a dumpster to hide in.
Okay.
Nice.
Skylights for Sephiroth, really.
Use mommy money.
I mean, we've already seen it once today. It's fair. It could happen again. So, first things first, these clotlings are going to get up into business. They are just rushing forward, frankly, to make the line more than anything else. However, they didn't necessarily form with brains, so they're just going to attack the closest things possible.
Are they like chickens?
Yes?
Chickens don't have brains.
That's not true.
They have nerve clusters.
That might be true. I can't help you with that one. I'm going to say maybe. Also, I'm going to get back to the Final Fantasy music thing later. But you know what? Yeah, let's go with that. Doesn't look like they have proper brains. They just exist to cause people harm. And in this instance, we're causing harm first to Tamira with this. Dang.
Oh.
Don't worry. It's not actually that much damage.
Oh, okay.
It's what comes next.
Just a little sip. However, it does gain some health.
It leaves a mild discomfort.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like ripping a leech off. just bigger and grosser. It's much grosser. The next one is going to also attack, and it's going after Rayun. And let's be real, I have less hope for this one. But
Nope.
yeah, this dude's got a shield, but these things don't know that. So we're gonna move on to Morthos.
Is there any reason to believe that the Guardess is not fully dead? Is their body movement, is her chest visibly rising and falling?
You know what? That sounds like a great question that can be answered with a perception check.
But Morthos is terrible at that.
That's unfortunate. Wow. He certainly can't tell. He sees a body or a trail of blood 10 feet wide and a body that doesn't appear to be moving.
Well, y'all know what time it is. Fireball centered here.
Tool time?
Pool time.
Huh?
Should get all 4 of them.
Go.
Yeah, probably. Let's see. That is a lot of damage. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to point out that I made a lot of these encounters before I learned that he had Fireball.
Oh.
Just not as like complaining or anything, just like, hey, that's where we're at. Now I know Fireball's a thing. So dex save on the top one. He doesn't exist anymore. Dex save on the bottom one. Actually still doesn't exist because half that damage is still more than his max health. So, blam! For the golem, I can close that one now. Let's see.
Just trying to help you out with character sheet loot.
Hey, I appreciate that.
He did not make an attempt.
Well, yeah.
Burn, baby, burn.
Look, pretty much anytime something is described as a golem, I feel like it's just going to have terrible, terrible dex.
Yeah. It doesn't really dodge things.
Yeah. So, oh no, that's not how numbers work. I do have to do math. That is just the worst.
I like how its dex is a -1.
I think this is the right number. It's a good thing that nobody's going to see those two numbers and also be able to do simple subtraction. And here, well, that was a number actually I was kind of hoping to fudge, but I don't know how to fudge numbers for the good, so I am just going to have to deal with that. And that is also math, but I think I got this one. Sorry that this slows things down just a touch, but, I never claimed to be good at math. There we go. So what an explosion.
Your bosses are watching.
That's true. I hope. Also, she's bad at math, too. In case there was any doubt about that giant red X, Taffer is definitely not alive now. Although, to ease any consciences, she was not alive before. That being said, I bet Morthos is awfully proud of himself for that fireball.
He is. He's stroking his still, scorching white-hot parasitic arm. Good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good boy.
Yeah, this Mega Man thing, it just keeps working.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tyrus.
I'm going to attempt a piercing shot.
Oh, right.
Going to attack, I guess, Flesh Golem and then the guy behind him.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
first
the guard
one's...
captain behind them.
Yeah.
Now she's triple dead.
So I guess first attack is no advantage or anything. So first attack, boom, 25.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't even have to look at his character sheet.
4 damage, which is not
Okay.
that good.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's flesh. What do you expect?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I will roll disadvantage on the other guy.
Mhm.
And it's a 17.
Dang. Well, that does hit.
And he's going to take 8.
Okay.
And then I will do a secondary attack and just attack the first guy.
Okay.
With a 23.
Sure.
And deal 6 to him.
Wonderful. Nice and easy. Whew. Look at me. I even did math. Yeah. I mean, look. This thing, it has barely begun to exist. It barely let out a roar before everybody started unloading into it. And it's not even really moving that much. It's just a giant mound of angry flesh. So it's pretty easy to pop some shots into it. That being said, your shots don't seem to move it too much. Fireball didn't, though. That was pretty nice.
Gonna move it, and then I'm gonna move like up here and
Mhm.
up this ramp to kind of have a better angle
Makes sense to me.
on the guy. I guess probably here or here.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out which are the best angle. Let's see. Yeah, that's good.
Dower. Yeah. Yeah, if you go too much higher, that cart might get in the way.
What about from here? Did all hit?
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
You got
Okay.
a line of sight.
Then I'll move
Yeah,
up
that's
here.
fine. Mira, you're on the front line.
I am on the front line, and I am going to fairy fire and then step back here by Morthos.
We'll hold the line. Right, Glitch?
Thanks.
Yar.
All right. And I don't think we need to roll anything for fairy fire. It just happens, right?
I think they get to save.
Let's see. Would you mind linking that to me? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Dex save. Well, we all know how good the flesh mountain is. Wow. Apparently, the flesh golem does not feel like it. It's the wrong one. And the other guy also doesn't feel like it.
Damn it.
I'm gonna just take those markers away. Gonna have to earn them.
Oh.
You spray out a volley of lights and sparks, and the man contorts through and around them, even having kind of been exploded. Kind of like he's showing off. It's the mountain's turn. And the mountain is going over to partake of the flesh. So, Rayun. Oh yeah, I definitely was supposed to do that. You know what? No, Ray. Oh, I see. Steel Defender's doing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's doing it.
Rayun, do you also have that ability?
I also have that ability.
Okay. Just making sure, because I was like, Ray, what do you do? Oh yeah, okay, 2 people. So before we do, I am just going to trigger this a little late because I'm remembering before it's relevant. Could I have Mira, Glitch, and Rayun make Constitution saves? Okay. In response, in particular, to the bullets, the 3 of you in particular feel a wave of like nauseating heat, as it's not even like so much anger as it is hunger. the bullets just made it hungrier. And now, at disadvantage, I remembered. Rayun, let's see what happens here.
Whoa.
I mean, look, the 5's not much better, but he's going to take one more swing, and then we'll describe how this looks.
I mean, the attack is called Meaty Fist. It's gonna look amazing.
Yeah. For what it's worth, Rayun, you don't even have to worry about your armor or shield because this thing is moving freakishly slow, apparently. But it doesn't change the fact that where you were standing a second ago is now not just a large splatter of blood and meat, but also an imprint in the ground. However, I mean, you seem just fine to me.
Interesting.
Oh, that's good to know. Well,
but it still misses.
Yeah, the 14 wouldn't hit either, but that is good to know. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to move to Rayun's turn.
Well, seeing as this is a unholy abomination, I will go ahead and use my longsword. And here we go.
That's
22 hits.
A heck of a hit.
5 and 7.
Sorry. Okay. That is not bad. Let's see. I need to check this real fast.
Total of 12, right?
Nope. 17.
Ooh. Because of the radiant damage?
Yep. It's almost like all of this has worked out perfectly, and your blade cuts through this flesh far better than flesh traditionally cuts. And where previously it has only really shown hunger as an emotion, this hurt. It can feel the pain.
Is the flesh medium well where he cut?
I dare say the flesh where it cut is already well.
Okay.
It was an unnatural singeing.
It's already at like congratulations.
Congratulations, you've won.
Next we move to the Masked Man, who, still locking eyes on Mira through his mask, for his turn bows down very low. Says, "Oh dear, the songbird has bested me. Whatever will I do?" And he begins to just lean backwards. He puts his hands up like he is laying in a coffin, hands on his shoulders crossed across his chest. And you see him beginning to fall backwards. Mira, no check required because this was fairly recent. You just know. You know what's going on. He's making a beeline for the Gardas' blood trail.
We gotta get him away from that blood.
And that is his whole turn. Holden!
I'm gonna shoot him, the masked man, with my crossbow twice.
You sure are. That's an easy
did.
math. No. No, he is not. He is at 1.
And then I'll have Glitch move around to here and attempt to force rend him.
Perfect. Well, that's enough.
Away.
Not dead. However, the beast next to Rayun does let out a shudder before pretty chaotically again exploding in gore and bloody detritus.
I put my shield up to my face.
He is clearly very wounded. I'm not going to take that away, but he is not dead. However, I am going to clear this initiative tracker in case that gives any idea of where we're at. And through maybe a bit of difficulty, not quite making it to Taffer's blood trail, you hear him say, "Ah, what a shame. The songbird has defeated me. Well then it's a shame I can't tell you all everything I know. Oh, what will you do without me?"
Do you want me
So
to...
we should like stabilize him and then just cuff him, right?
Yeah. I got
I don't
3
think
points.
cuffs are gonna keep him. We need to do something to keep this guy on lockdown. I would actually probably keep him at 1 hit point and away from the blood.
Yeah,
I'm going to say it is hard to keep him away from blood right now. You can keep away from Taffer's blood, but you can't tell if unnatural blood works the same way, but there is gore from that golem everywhere.
Okay.
I just, can't render it very well.
Could we like pull him up here away from it?
Yeah, sure.
Bind
do
his
that.
hands behind his back and cut his tongue out.
Well, we need to find a way to question him and learn
You can
what
draw
he
pictures. Can't cast spells without a tongue.
knows. That's true.
I mean, he has to use his hands to cast spells once he has that one trait, right?
Most of them require a somatic component. That's true.
Would that be like a knowledge arcana to know what he cast?
I mean, I guess you are allowed to make that. I will also say that yes, that is a knowledge arcana check. That's probably also a war crime. But
are we concerned about that right now?
Let me take this captive, and just for safety's sake, we will bind his hands, then cut them off, and also cut his tongue out just in case.
Well, we know.
Well,
I know he's a murderer, and I told Holden as such. So.
Sure.
You say it's a war crime. Good thing we're not at war.
It's literally a war crime.
It's like the I was trying to think of a food pun for Geneva.
Once the city guard shows up, we just tell him Bond Breaker showed up again and fuck this guy up real good. And
get the captain mad?
Well, we still need to be able to question him, though, in case he does know something that we need to know.
Tyrus and Glitch are flanking him. I will stand there with crossbow readied. If he takes any kind of offensive action, I'd like to prepare a crossbow bolt for his brain. He's as restrained as he's gonna be. I mean,
I'm gonna be standing on his hand.
I assume then that either Mira or Rayun probably stabilizes him.
Yeah.
I don't know who's got magic left, but
you said he was at 1 hit point, so he can just stay there.
I mean, he's at 0, but
okay.
You can stabilize him with just about anything.
Hands him for 1 HP.
Yeah.
And no more.
I just kind of like.
Also, we're gonna Scooby Doo demask him, right?
Yeah.
We got the dog and everything.
Let's
so
do it.
Rayun goes up to to this guy and just flicks him in the forehead for 1 HP.
Yeah, that's fine. As you heal him, like he's flanked by the two of you. I'm going to put Mira and Morithos there too because that makes sense. Mira, as soon as he has any life in him, he sits up. I don't know how many of you are familiar with The Undertaker.
Yeah.
But just with the youth and vigor of young Undertaker, goes from laying down to sitting straight up almost instantly. Doesn't take any other movement, just sits up very fast. And that's why I think we'll get along so well, Songbird. Well, thank you for this food.
Always.
Yeah. He says, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. And I promised I'll tell you everything I know. Well, and like Mira, he through his mask, through everything, he is making direct eye contact with you. And he says, correction. I will tell you, and only you, everything I know. And it will be our little secret.
I'm going to move over to him. And I'm going to bend over at the waist so that I can whisper in his ear. You know what? No, I'm not going to whisper. I'm going to yell in his ear. I won't be keeping any secrets. Tell me what you know.
He politely crosses his arms, lays back down. You have my terms, Songbird. But I suspect that your Portamarian friends would be very appreciative.
I tap Mira's shoulder and just whisper to her, "Can you use a sending or the sending stones and just like send us what he says?"
Oh, I will not be left alone with this man. Fine. I will stay as long as Glitch can stay and guard me.
What is
And my
what's his face look like by the way?
and my friends stay within earshot.
After removing the mask, this man, honestly, he's got kind of a picturesque face. Imagine Morithos if he hadn't gotten the crap kicked out of him regularly, and instead cut himself, but only his face. Like scars pretty all over the place, but underneath you could tell, no, this guy probably was born into money and is still kind of handsome for it. Dark red tiefling skin over some fairly thick curled horns. But still, he seems like he's doing okay for himself.
Hey, looks are not enough to overcome a shit personality.
I mean,
no, Zell, they're not.
I've been told it can go either way.
He has my terms. My terms are Glitch stays with me and my friends stay within eye line, I guess. They don't even need to be in earshot, but
He shakes his head. He's grinning, just ear to ear. He says, "No, Songbird. You know my terms. I need someone to keep my secrets."
very well. Everybody out.
And I think that is where I'm going to end this session.
Hooray!
But secrets.
Secrets.
We'll get to secrets.
An
But
illusion.
secrets.
What are you hiding?
Well,
I'm very happy that we're getting here because I've been excited for this for some time.
yay!
Heck yeah.
I was actually looking at it. I made the tokens for this scene a month and a half ago.
Oh wow.
Dang.
So we've been sitting on this for a little bit,
Mhm.
3 or 4 sessions. But this, I mentioned a while ago that I had that like huge burst of inspiration, and we're at the end of that bunch. But now I'm feeling good. I'm like, all right, it's time to write 3 or 4 more sessions worth of stuff. Let's do it.
Awesome. Yay! I'm excited. I can't wait for next session.
Yay.
This is also one last thing before we go, or before we end the like role playing talk. Was this is a really fun conclusion to 2 different story arcs,
Yeah.
and now we get to see where those go. But I had to like kind of figure out how in my brain I was going to make some of these stories meet, and when I finally got there, that was that aha moment of great. Now I know how to make these next 4 sessions go.
Nice.
So I hope you all have enjoyed it very much, because I know I have. Our next scheduled date is March 31st,
Mhm.
which is 2 weeks from today. And I don't have anything else going on, so
Count
I
us
look
in.
forward to seeing at least some of you there.
Yay! Okay, sounds good.
I heard back from my friend
And
about his game. He wants to do it. So whenever we can find time.
Great.
can we do like a Thursday? What about a non D&D Friday? So like
I
next
think a non
Friday
D&D
or
Friday
the
would be
first
good.
Friday in April. That's Good Friday. He might not want to do that.
Mm-hmm. I may be unavailable because I have a different campaign going at that time.
Oh, that's
but
right.
We'll see.
No. Okay, we have to
Okay.
do it when
I mean-
Zell's available too.
But the thing is, like, if the rest of you guys do that, that seems just fine by me. It's not like I'm not going to be doing something. I'm just going to be doing something else.
I know, but then you don't get to
Yeah,
play the
but
new
I think
game, and you like to try new
it'd be
games.
fun.
So we'll have to pick a Thursday.
I'll
Actually-
see if he's available on Thursday. Usually he does. He has game nights on Thursdays.
Okay. You
I'll
let
see
us
if he's
know
available
what
for
night
one.
usually works for him, and we'll find a spot on the calendar to do it.
So is this like a one shot or?
It's a brand
No,
new
it's
card
a-
game.
It's a
Yeah.
trading card. It's a card game he's developing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. Sav wasn't there for that.
That's
Fun!
right.
Nope.
Sav was out.
He was getting the van ready for Disneyland tomorrow.
For dinner.
Yay, fun! All right, send
Okay.
us pictures.
I will,
Yes,
or
please.
it didn't happen.
I know so many people